What's the deal with vodka? What do I have in this collection? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to taste 8 different vodkas and I'll break it all down for you. Welcome back, everybody, to The Art of Doing. We seek to inspire you to practice doing new and different things, explore new interests, and discover new passions. If this is the first time to the channel, I'd love for you to consider hitting that subscribe button. And since we're all about practicing doing new and different things, we're constantly covering new topics, hit that notification bell so you're always tuned in for when we drop something new. Today we're going to be talking about vodka. This is a very popular type of liquor. I believe it's the most consumed type of liquor in the world. And vodka is actually a very simple liquor to explain. Of the 6 type of liquors, this is one of only 2 that is not aged, ever. It is distilled from any type of grain or starch. It can be made from potatoes. That's a popular misconception that it's only made from potatoes. It can be made from any type of grain, corn, or mix as well. And like I said, it is not aged. The requirements for vodka are that it is odorless, colorless, and tasteless. So there's not much wiggle room there. When you're talking about expensive vodkas versus less expensive vodkas, believe it or not, the biggest difference between them is their marketing budget. If you make a vodka right out of any type of high quality or low quality ingredients, and if you filter it well, it should all taste about the same. That being said, why are there so many different types of vodkas, and why do you like one more than the other? Well, there is subtle taste differences. And one of the things that can differentiate one vodka from the next is the amount of alcohol taste and the alcohol smell. And it is that smell that kind of tells you that you're drinking something strong. And the less smell you have to a vodka, if they're all the same proof, that's the better vodka, regardless of the marketing budget or how they've told you they've filtered it. So I'll get into my collection. If you remember when I was talking about the 6 different types of liquor, I said that I was having a hard time pulling out my collection, and I'll link above and down in the description for the 6 different types of liquor video that I did. But the reason I had so much trouble is because I just explained to you there's so little difference in vodka. I don't have a lot of vodkas to show you. I'll start with this one. This is called Blavod. It is a black colored vodka, and I used to drink this back when I was younger. I was working in a bar. We would mix this, and it's got a really fun color in a highball with some ice cubes. That being said, I don't know how it qualifies as vodka since it does have a color. It doesn't really have a taste though, but I have that just because it's fun. This is another vodka I have. And I didn't talk about flavored vodkas. Flavored vodkas are newer to the scene and they're very popular now. So a flavored vodka is a flavor that's added after the vodka is distilled. It is not made with the flavor. And because there's so many different flavors of vodka, I tend to not buy them. If I want a grape flavored vodka, I'll put some grape juice in my vodka. If, etc., etc. If I want an orange flavor, I can put a little orange bitters in the vodka, or I can put in some orange juice. That being said, I bought this. My hometown is Boston, and this was an Absolut limited edition Boston vodka, and it had a flavor profile that I wasn't really able to find and mix on my own. It's a black tea and elderberry flower. I do have an elderberry liquor now. I really did enjoy this, and I bought several cases so that I wouldn't run out when it was limited edition, and now it is actually out of circulation. And this is my house vodka. It's called Reyka. It's from Iceland. And its marketing gimmick is that it's filtered with Icelandic volcano ash. This is the vodka that I will use for any of my mixed drinks. And vodka typically is the #1 liquor to be used in a mixed drink. Any type of juice mixed with other liqueurs and a juice, you know, Black Russian, screwdrivers. These are very, very well-known mixed drinks that you use with vodka. Believe it or not, this is my vodka collection. I've got one for fun, one that I just can't find anywhere else, and a house vodka. And I've never needed to get a different type of vodka because there isn't another type of flavor of vodka. That being said, in the interest of not having a 2-minute video, I am going to do an 8-way vodka test for you guys today. I'm going to put them all to the test. Some more known brands, some a little lesser known brands. I'm looking to see if I can find a brand of vodka that will unseat my house vodka that I enjoy better. So let's set that up and we'll see what that shows us. So here are the brands I decided to use for the taste test. Of course, the Reyka, and I'll go through these a little bit. Again, Reyka's from Iceland. It is distilled with wheat and barley. All of these are 80 proof, by the way. That's a typical proof of a vodka. This is Tito's out of Texas. It is made with corn. And you can see that I've got a bunch of nips here. I'm not the big baller that's going to spend all this money just to taste 7 vodkas to find out I don't like 7 of them, and one of them is going to be my my pick. So that's Tito's. Absolut. This is Sweden and also distilled from wheat. The next one is Mont Blanc. This is from France. The next one here is Skyy vodka. This one is actually another product of the United States. I thought this was a foreign product, but it is from the United States. Also wheat. Grey Goose. This is French. And all of these are similarly priced. Some are a little more expensive than others. But none of these are super top shelf or super bottom shelf. Ketel One. This is the Netherlands. And then back to the Blavod, which is German, and they get the black color from the heartwood of a certain type of acacia tree. And it's got a, I do have to say, it is really fun to make cocktails with this. The color you get is a very dark, almost purpley. It layers very well if you're making fun shooters. And it really turns your cocktail a funky color. I hear it's especially popular around Halloween, although I've really never seen this other than the one bar that I used to get it at and in my own collection. For my taste test, really it's going to be how bad does it smell and how bad does it taste. And I'm going to rank them. You see I've got numbers out here. Went all out, got really fancy. I've got some numbers all out here, and I'll switch them around, and we'll get our final ranking. Starting off with the Reyka. Has a decent alcohol smell to it. It's pretty light. I must say that I'm rooting for Reyka, as it's my house. This is the Tito's. That's pretty subtle too. I'm actually going to switch them. I'll say the Tito's has a little bit less of a smell to it. Make sure I don't get any vodka on my lip to mess up my smell. Absolut really has almost no smell. It does come in a little late with a little bit of an alcohol smell to it. Let's move these over. And the Mont Blanc. I almost get a water flavor, but I do get an alcohol smell to it. Wow, this is very, very subtle differences here. It's funny that I'm shuffling these down. Has Reyka really dropped to my number 4? Very, very subtle differences. Like I said, a vodka should have no smell to it and no taste, so I guess I'm not too surprised. Now this one has a little bit more of a smell to it. That is my number 5, so it'll stay there. Wow. I don't know if I can smell anything on the Grey Goose. Wow. Definitely less than the Mont Blanc. Wow. Okay. That goes to the top. I'm sorry. That goes down one. This goes to the top. Everybody moves down one. That really has almost no smell. The numbers, I think, I brought out to make sure I didn't lose track, see if I got buzzed by the time I was tasting them. My goodness. I have no smell on this. If I take a deep whiff, I get a little something. I think I'll put that at number 2. Everybody moves down. And Skyy's still at the bottom. My Reyka is not faring well here at all. Yeah. And of course, the 2 vodkas that I have in my collection are 2 of the worst. Let me just double check my top 3 here. Very, very similar and very subtle. I'd almost say, with the exception of the Skyy and the Blavod, they're almost interchangeable. I think if I was out drinking this, I really wouldn't notice a difference. But let's see how the taste test goes. We'll start with 1 and work our way down and see how it shakes out. This is the Grey Goose. Little bit of flavor. No burn, slightest bit of aftertaste. Ketel One, a little stronger up front. Almost no flavor after the initial hit. But it definitely has an initial hit. Leave those 2 there. Let's go with the Mont Blanc. Oh wow. That has got a really, really strong, I won't say unpleasant, but I almost don't need to try that again. It's got a very strong, bitter, and it stays with you the whole time. I have a feeling that's going to be dropping down in the rankings, but that can stay at 3 for now. Wow, that's tough to get out of the aftertaste. Okay, let's try the Absolut. Whoa. I dare say that's off. It started out strong and the aftertaste is more powerful than the Mont Blanc. Just make sure. That's bitter and it stays there, but it's not quite as punch you in the face as the Absolut. Now, so far the rankings are staying as planned. Wow. Wow. That's really bad. I say bad. I don't have any bottom shelf vodkas here, so that should be taken relatively speaking. Okay, let's try Tito's. That's also pretty rough. Bitter. Stays with you, but not nearly as bad as the Absolut. So I'm going to switch these 2. Let's see between Tito's and Mont Blanc. See if Tito's can move up in the rankings. Mont Blanc, again, is bitter. Almost has like a soapy taste to it, but it's not as strong as the Absolut or the Tito's. The Tito's and the Absolut are very similar with how harsh and bitter tasting they are, but the aftertaste on the Absolut lingers a lot longer. I dare say it's borderline unpleasant, these last 3. It's a very bitter taste, not quite as alcohol-y as maybe these last 3. It doesn't stay with you nearly as long. I don't have to try the Absolut and the Tito's. I'd say it's more equivalent with the Mont Blanc right now. Ugh. I think it's better than the Mont Blanc. Man, I hope so, because I'm about to take another sip to find out. Yeah, better than the Mont Blanc. I don't think it will get to be as good as the Ketel One, but let's try it. The taste of the Ketel One is not as objectionable as the taste of the Reyka, but I think the Reyka taste goes away quicker. It's not as thick, it's a little more watery maybe. I may be biased here, but I think I'm going to put Reyka all the way at number 2, which will move Ketel One down to 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's no way it's going to be better than the Mont Blanc. I'm sorry, I keep on confusing the Mont Blanc and the Grey Goose. They both have a mountain range on the back of the bottle. The thing about vodka is it's not tasty like a rum or a bourbon or a scotch. It's something you really want to mix. I'm having a hard time saying I like one better than the other. But I like the Grey Goose better than the Reyka. At the very least, I'll be changing my house brand after this taste test. So let's see. Skyy Vodka, what do you have for me? Oh my goodness. That is so harsh. It's so unappealing that I almost have to taste it back to back to make sure I really tasted what I just thought I did. It tastes like strong vodka drinks at the club. Not that I go to a lot of clubs, but Skyy versus Absolut. Yeah, Skyy is way worse. Okay, thankfully I'm getting down to the last one because I feel like this might be catching up to me here. The Blavod. It's not a good taste, but it's subtle. It goes away pretty quickly. It's definitely better than the Skyy. I'm not even going to retaste the Skyy. Let's see, is it better than the Absolut? Probably. Let's see if it's better than the Tito's. It's not that it's good. It's that these others just have an unpleasant taste. Definitely better than the Tito's. Let's try the Mont Blanc. Wow. Might be better than the Mont Blanc. This is really shooting up on our list here. It's better than the Mont Blanc, but it's really close. It's going to run out of rinsing water here. Let's try Ketel One. Okay, not as good as the Ketel One, thankfully, because I was doing a lot of drinking there. Okay, so this will go to number 4. Skyy will go to 8. Okay, so our top 3, Grey Goose, Reyka, and Ketel One, with a Blavod in a surprising number 4. Let me taste the top 3 and make sure that I'm happy with these taste rankings. Then we'll look at the smell rankings and see if we can make some tiebreakers here. Before we do that, if this video is giving you any value, if you're enjoying seeing me get buzzed in front of the camera, hit that like button. Share this one with your friends. Okay, so these are my final rankings. I've got Grey Goose as number 1, Ketel One as number 2, and my house vodka Reyka as number 3. It did poorly enough in the smell test, but did fairly well in the taste test. The Blavod did really well in the taste test, actually better than the Mont Blanc, but was the worst smelling of the group of 8, so I couldn't really put it up too high. I'll still keep it in my collection because of the funky black color. Mont Blanc actually didn't do too poorly. It was really high in the smell test. Didn't do quite as well in the taste test, but I think it would be an acceptable vodka. The Tito's close 6th place finisher, and the Absolut was a fail, and the Skyy was just a terrible, terrible vodka, I'm sorry to say. I probably will be switching my house vodka from Reyka over to Grey Goose sometime in the near future. Maybe I've got a backup bottle of this, so after I go through a couple of bottles of Reyka, and I may do a follow-up taste test on my own just to make sure that I'm happy with these 3 rankings. My question for you is, what do you think of my rankings? Is there a vodka that you think would be able to beat these 3? And if so, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd actually be interested in trying out anything that I've missed and seeing if it can compete with my top 3, maybe even my top 5 here. Thank you for spending some time with me. Let's always remember to practice responsible drinking. Let's practice compassion, kindness, and humility. And thank you for spending some time with me to practice the art of doing. Click the subscribe up there. Some good videos to watch over here. Thanks, everybody.